Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Naresh Mago and with me is Abhineet Shukla with the evening news. The headlines. India win 4 gold medals at the Commonwealth Games, move to 4th place in medals tally. Boxers Amit Panghal, Neetu Ghangas and Nikhat Zareen and athlete Eldos Paul bring glory, winning gold for the country. 2 silver and 3 bronze medals won in women's hockey, athletics and table tennis. At least 2 silver medals assured in badminton as PV Sindhu and Lakshya Sen enter the finals. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs Governing Council meeting of Niti Aayog. Crop diversification, achieving self-sufficiency in agri-commodities, implementation of national education policy and urban governance top agenda. Jagdeep Dhankar to take oath as 14th Vice President of India on Thursday. NIA arrests an accused for alleged involvement in activities of ISIS module. On the occasion of National Handloom Day, Prime Minister urges all youngsters from the startup world to take part in My Handloom, My Pride challenge. And in T20 international cricket, the final match of the series between India and West Indies underway at Lauderhill, Florida. At the Commonwealth Games, India added 4 gold medals to their tally today. 3 yellow medals came in boxing, with Amit Panghal winning the men's 51 kg event, Neetu Ghangas conquering the women's 48 kg final bout, and Nikhat Zareen winning in the 50 kg category. Here is the winning moment of Amit Panghal's match.
The medalist in the red corner representing India. 15वां gold medal बर्मिंघम में अमित पंघल ने भारत को दिलवाया है.
Nikhat's medal was the 4th gold of the day and the 17th overall in Birmingham. India also leapfrogged New Zealand in the medals tally to the 4th position. With this, India's overall medals tally has risen to 48, including 17 gold, 12 silver and 19 bronze medals. Earlier, India's 3rd gold came in men's triple jump, where Indians took the first 2 positions, winning both gold and silver. Eldos Paul won the gold with 17.03 meter jump and Abdullah Abu Bakr won the silver.
पहली बार मेंस ट्रिपल जंप में एक गोल्ड मेडल लगाई थी एल्डोस पॉल ने अपने तीसरे प्रयास में. कोई उस आंकड़े को पार नहीं कर पाया. कितनी बार देखा होगा आपने कि भारत पहले पायदान पर भी और दूसरे पायदान पर भी एथलेटिक्स की दुनिया में.
In table tennis, the Indian pair of Achanta Sharat Kamal and Satyang Gyanashekharan won the silver in men's doubles as they lost to Paul Drinkhall and Liam Pitchford of England in the final. In the men's 10-kilometer race walk, Sandeep Kumar won the bronze for India. In women's javelin throw, Annu Rani bagged the bronze medal with a throw of 60 meters. India are in line to win another gold in boxing as Sagar Ehlawat is set to fight England's Delicious Ori in the 92+ kilogram event. In badminton, at least 2 silver medals have been assured for India in both men's and women's singles category as PV Sindhu and Lakshya Sen won their respective semi-final matches today. However, it was heartbreaking for Kidambi Shrikant, who lost in the singles semi-final today. In women's hockey, India defeated New Zealand 2-1 in the penalty shootout to win the bronze medal. Indian captain Savita said she was happy with the win and thanked the crowd for cheering for Team India.
क्राउड जब भी इतना सपोर्ट करता है तो बॉडी के अंदर एक अलग सी पॉजिटिविटी आती है और वो हमेशा अच्छा ही लगता है. तो उन सबको हमारी तरफ से थैंक यू सो मच.
With this, India's overall medals tally has risen to 49, which includes 17 gold, 13 silver and 19 bronze medals. President Draupadi Murmu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have congratulated the Indian boxers Neetu Ghangas and Amit Panghal and the Indian women's hockey team. In a series of tweets, the President said the Indian boxers have created sporting history, punching, hooking and defending their way to the top. She said their indomitable spirit and exceptional skills at such a young age are admirable. The President expressed that Indian women's hockey team's performance and teamwork have won hearts of every Indian. She said the women's hockey team has made India proud and their brilliance is a matter of pride for every Indian. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said these medals are a prestigious addition to the Indian medals tally. Mr. Modi said that boxer Panghal is one of the most admired and skilled boxers who's shown topmost dexterity. He said boxer Neetu Ghangas has pursued sports diligently and with utmost passion. He expressed pride for women's hockey team, saying every Indian is proud of the country's exceptional women's hockey team. Mr. Modi said that this is the first time in many years that the women's team is on the Commonwealth Games podium.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today heralded the collective efforts of all the states in the spirit of cooperative federalism as the force that helped India emerge from the COVID pandemic. Addressing the 7th meeting of the Governing Council of Niti Aayog at Rashtrapati Bhavan Cultural Centre, the Prime Minister said that every state played a crucial role according to its strength and contributed to India's fight against COVID-19. He said this led to India emerging as an example for the developing nations to look out to as a global leader. In his inaugural address, the Prime Minister said India's federal structure and cooperative federalism emerged as a model for the world during the COVID crisis. He said India had sent a powerful message to the developing nations of the world that it is possible to overcome challenges with resilience despite resource limitations. The Governing Council discussed the agenda items which included crop diversification and achieving self-sufficiency in oilseeds, pulses and agri-commodities, implementation of the National Education Policy and urban governance. The Prime Minister highlighted the importance of all of these issues, especially the need for India to focus on modernized agriculture, animal husbandry and food processing to become self-sufficient and a global leader in the agriculture sector. Mr. Modi also spoke about India's G20 presidency in 2023 and called it a unique opportunity to show the world that India is not just Delhi, it is every state and union territory of the country. In his closing remarks, the Prime Minister said that each state should focus on promoting its 3 T's, trade, tourism, technology, through every Indian mission around the world. The first fiscal meeting of the Governing Council since the onset of the pandemic was attended by 23 Chief Ministers, 3 Lieutenant Governors and 2 Administrators and Union Ministers. The meeting was moderated by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. Later, Niti Aayog Vice Chairman Suman Bedi briefed the reporters about today's meeting.
The Prime Minister made some important points about India post-COVID, about the year ahead, and about his both pride in and expectations from the meeting. His real challenge or request to those assembled was to raise their sights in this Amrit Kal to what India should aim to become in 2047, the 100th year of our independence.
Niti Aayog CEO Parmeswaran Iyer said that during the meeting, the Chief Ministers and Lieutenant Governors presented best practices from their states on these 4 agenda items and other matters which are important for the states.
Presented best practices from the states on these 4 themes, but also on other matters which were important for the state. So it was a very fruitful interaction, and there was also some presentations by the Education Minister on the new education policy. The Foreign Minister spoke about the importance of G20 for the states, and we also had the Commerce Minister talking about the importance of exports and encouraging the states to step up their efforts.
The Prime Minister has said that the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav is creating an atmosphere of patriotic zeal in the country, and it is a golden opportunity to establish the emotional connection of the youth with nation building. The Prime Minister was addressing the 3rd National Committee meeting on Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav in New Delhi yesterday. Mr. Modi said the committees at national, state and district levels have been working day and night to take Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav to the masses. He said the success of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav is due to the contribution of every citizen of the country. The Prime Minister said the emotional flavor of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav is the core of the campaign. He said it is a sanskar utsav for the youth which will fill them with undying passion to contribute for the country. National Democratic Alliance candidate Jagdeep Dhankad has been elected as the 14th Vice President of India. He will take the oath of office on Thursday, a day after the term of the incumbent Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu ends. Mr. Dhankad will also be appointed ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. The Election Commission today issued a certificate announcing the election of Mr. Dhankad. Chief Election Commissioner Rajiv Kumar and Election Commissioner Anup Chandra Pandey signed the certification of the election of Mr. Dhankar. It will be read out at the time of oath-taking of the new Vice President on August the 11th. Mr. Dhankar won with a huge vote share of 74.36%, the highest in the last 6 vice presidential elections, with 528 votes against Alwa's 182 votes.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. India win 4 gold medals at the Commonwealth Games, moved to the 4th place in medals tally. Boxers Amit Panghal, Neetu Ghangas and Nikhat Zareen and athlete Eldos Paul bring glory, winning gold for the country. 2 silver and 3 bronze medals won in women's hockey, athletics and table tennis. At least 2 silver medals assured in badminton as PV Sindhu and Lakshya Sen enter the finals. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs Governing Council meeting of Niti Aayog, crop diversification, achieving self-sufficiency in commodities, implementation of national education policy and urban governance the top agenda. Jagdeep Dhankar to take oath as the 14th Vice President of India on Thursday. NIA arrests an accused for alleged involvement in activities of ISIS module. On the occasion of National Handloom Day, Prime Minister urges all youngsters from the startups world to take part in My Handloom, My Pride challenge. And in T20 international cricket, the final match of the series between India and West Indies underway at Lauderhill, Florida. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर।
8700014242।
अगर आप कर रहे हैं कॉम्पिटिशन्स की तैयारी तो फिर आपके लिए है ऑल इंडिया रेडियो का कार्यक्रम अभ्यास। आपके भेजे प्रश्न हम व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289094044 पर या abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर रिसीव करते हैं और उसके उत्तर हमारे एक्सपर्ट सैटरडे रात 9:30 बजे देते हैं। इस बार का विषय है साइकोलॉजी और आपके सवाल का हम करेंगे इंतजार 10 अगस्त तक। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
The National Investigation Agency NIA has arrested an accused for being allegedly involved in the activities of Islamic State ISIS module case after conducting searches at Batla House in New Delhi. The NIA said the accused, identified as Mohsin Ahmed, was arrested yesterday. The probe agency said Ahmed, a resident of Patna, has been an active member of ISIS. Our correspondent reports he's been arrested for his involvement in collection of funds for ISIS from sympathizers in India as well as abroad. He was sending these funds to Syria and other places in form of cryptocurrency in order to further the activities of ISIS. Investigation in the case is in progress. The National Handloom Day is being observed today. The day has special significance in the history of the freedom struggle in the country. On this day in 1905, Swadeshi Andolan was started. On the occasion, Prime Minister Narendra Modi urged all youngsters associated with the world of startups to take part in My Handloom, My Pride challenge. Mr. Modi said, it is an excellent opportunity to ideate and innovate for weavers. The Prime Minister also posted a video on his Twitter handle on National Handloom Day. The video is a tribute to country's rich cultural diversity and all those working to celebrate artistic traditions. Home and Cooperation Minister Amit Shah said the country's handloom sector signifies its rich and diverse cultural heritage. Mr. Shah said the day is also aimed at encouraging countrymen to use handloom products weaved by indigenous weavers. He said on the occasion all should join hands to further the Modi government's resolve to preserve and promote handloom heritage and empower handloom weavers, especially the women. On the occasion, an insurance scheme for weavers has come into force in Telangana from today. About 80,000 weavers in the state will be benefited by the insurance scheme.
The Common University Entrance Test Undergraduate CUET-UG examination, which was cancelled last week due to technical glitches, will now be conducted from the 24th to the 28th of August. Fresh admit cards will be issued for those candidates who were affected due to the cancellation of the exam. The second phase exams scheduled between the 4th and 6th of August were deferred at few centres due to administrative and technical reasons. The UGC chairman said that the new dates have been decided after taking into consideration students' convenience.
For the CUET scheduled from 4th to 6th August, some students could not take the test due to technical problems in the centres. NTA earlier decided to conduct a retest for these students from 12th to 14th August. However, many students have informed us not to reschedule their test from 12th to 14th August because it's not suitable to them for various reasons. Considering their request, we have now decided to conduct the retest for these students from 24th to 28th August, and fresh admit cards will be issued to them well before the date of the test.
Mr. Kumar said the third phase of CUET UG on the 17th, 18th and 20th of this month will be conducted as per the schedule. Meanwhile, the CUET UG started off well in all the centres across the country today. In a series of tweets, Mr. Kumar said the National Testing Agency NTA has taken all possible steps to make sure that the test is conducted smoothly. He said NTA has also created an exclusive grievance redressal email ID cuetgrievance@nta.ac.in. The grievances of candidates regarding subject combination medium question paper can be emailed on this ID mentioning their application number. Candidates have been advised to stay in touch with the NTA website for the latest updates. The Indian Space Research Organisation ISRO Chairman S. Somanath has said that the maiden launch of the Small Satellite Launch Vehicle SSLV failed to place the satellites in the intended orbit due to sensor anomaly. SSLV D1 EOS-02 launched from Sriharikota launch pad had placed the satellites into 356 km by 76 km elliptical orbit instead of 356 km circular orbit, due to which the two satellites remained unstable and are no longer usable. The ISRO chairman has said the launch vehicle took off majestically at the intended time from the launch pad in Sriharikota. Its propulsion stages, overall hardware, aerodynamic design and new generation electronics, the separation system used for the first time performed very well. However, after reaching an altitude of 356 km, there was a failure of logic to identify sensor failure and go for the salvage motion. Hence, the launch vehicle developed an anomaly. The ISRO chairman has said that a team of experts will go deeper to find out the reason for this isolation. He emphasized that after a small correction and revalidation, SSLV D2 will be launched very soon.
International Telecommunication Union's Regional Standardization Forum for Asia and Oceania region will begin in New Delhi from tomorrow. The Communications Ministry will host the forum on the theme of regulatory and policy aspects of telecommunications. Minister of State for Communications Devu Singh Chauhan will inaugurate the Regional Standardization Forum. The ministry said that over 250 delegates from 20 countries will participate in the forum. It said the panel discussion aims to provide insights to Asia and Oceania regions' experience from policy and regulatory perspectives under various sub-themes. Union Minister for Civil Aviation Jyotiraditya Scindia and Minister of State for Civil Aviation General Retired V.K. Singh today inaugurated the first flight of Akash Air from Mumbai to Ahmedabad virtually. Speaking at the event, Mr. Scindia added that over the last 8 years, India's civil aviation industry has been completely transformed. Under Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik Udan scheme, there are 425 routes and the government aims at increasing it to 1,000 routes and the number of airports to go up from 68 to 100 airports.
And now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
The first Indian flag against the imperialist British administration was hoisted on the 7th of August 1906 in Kolkata. This flag had 3 horizontal stripes of red, yellow and green, with Vande Mataram written in the middle. The red strip on the flag had a sun and a crescent moon, and the green strip had 8 half-open lotuses. It is believed to have been designed by freedom fighters Sachindra Prasad Bose and Hemchandra Kanungo.
We pay our tributes to legendary literary giant Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore, who died on the 7th of August 1941.
A multi-talented personality in every sense, Tagore was a poet, Brahmo Samaj philosopher, playwright, novelist, painter and a composer. He modified Bengali art by rebuffing the strictures that confined it within the sphere of classical Indian forms. Apart from the Indian national anthem, Jana Gana Mana, his composition Amar Shonar Bangla was adopted as the national anthem of Bangladesh, and the national anthem of Sri Lanka was inspired by one of his works. Amar Shonar Bangla, Ami tomay bhalobasi.
Tagore vouched for Indian independence through his motivating songs. He supported Indian nationalists and publicly criticized imperialism. During the partition of Bengal in 1905, Rabindranath provided active leadership to the Swadeshi movement, advocating boycott of British goods and promotion of indigenous products. Banglar mati, Banglar jal, Banglar vayu, Banglar phal, punna ho, punna ho, punna ho. Rabindranath Tagore wrote the song Banglar Mati Banglar Jol to unite the Bengali population. In 1915, he received knighthood from the British Crown, which he later renounced, citing the massacre at Jallianwala Bagh. He said that the knighthood meant nothing to him when the British failed to even consider his fellow Indians as humans.
Rabindranath also criticized the education system that was forced upon India by the British. Reforming education became a cornerstone of his mission for society and nation building. And to this end, Gurudev Rabindranath established Vishwa Bharati University at Shantiniketan in 1921. Amader Shantiniketan, chede sob hote apon, amader sob hote apon, amader Shantiniketan.
The noble soul breathed his last on the 7th of August 1941 at Kolkata. Rabindranath Tagore changed the way Bengali literature was viewed, and he left an everlasting impression on many. There are 5 museums dedicated to Tagore. While 3 of them are situated in India, the remaining 2 are in Bangladesh. The museums house his famous works and are visited by millions every year. AIR News pays tribute to the great noble soul.
We also remember nationalist artist Abanindranath Tagore, who was born on the 7th of August 1871 in West Bengal. Nephew of Rabindranath Tagore, Abanindranath Tagore was the first major supporter of Swadeshi values in Indian art.
Abanindranath created the Indian Society of Oriental Art and Bengal School of Art to counter the English influence on Indian artists. He rejected the materialistic art of the West and emphasized on returning to the Indian traditional art forms. He believed that Indian art and its art forms gave importance to spirituality as opposed to the West, which stressed on materialism. His idea of modernizing Mughal paintings and Rajput paintings eventually gave rise to modern Indian painting. Most of his works revolved around Hindu philosophy. His notable paintings include Ganesh Janani, Bharat Mata, and the victory of Buddha.
The great nationalist died on the 5th of December 1951. AIR News salutes the great nationalist. That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
As a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The next question of Amrit Mahotsav quiz will be shared with the listeners tomorrow in the morning bulletin. Celebrate 75 years of India's independence by participating in Amrit Mahotsav quiz with AIR News. As part of the Har Ghar Tiranga campaign ahead of the 75th Independence Day, Gram Panchayat Borgaon in Lakhani Taluka of Bhandara district of Maharashtra earned the distinction of being the first flag village in the district. This means the tricolor flag has reached all the families, government and semi-government officers in the village. Gram Panchayat Borgaon has around 224 families.
अब हर घर की छत पर शान से फहरेगा तिरंगा, गुनगुनाए जाएंगे नव विकास के गीत, आन बान शान का प्रतीक राष्ट्रध्वज तिरंगा। आइए आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के पावन अवसर पर इस स्वाधीनता दिवस हर घर फहराते हैं तिरंगा और लेते हैं भव्य और सशक्त भारत के निर्माण का संकल्प।
आइए हर घर फहराएं तिरंगा।
Adding a new dimension to the burgeoning Indo-US strategic partnership, U.S. Navy ship USNS Charles Drew arrived at L&T's shipyard at Kattupalli, Chennai today for undertaking repairs and allied services. This is the first ever repair of a U.S. Navy ship in India. This will give a huge boost to Make in India and Atmanirbharta in defense sector. The event signifies the capabilities of Indian shipyards in the global ship repairing market. Indian shipyards offer wide-ranging and cost-effective ship repair and maintenance services using advanced maritime technology platforms. Israel has killed a second top militant from the Palestinian Islamic Jihad PIJ group as the death toll continues to rise from airstrikes in Gaza. 6 children and several PIJ fighters, including leaders Khalid Mansour and Taysir Jabari, are among the 31 Palestinians reported to have died. Nearly 600 Palestinians' rockets and mortars have been fired at Israel since Friday, an Israeli official said. Israel says it's launched the operations due to immediate threat from PIJ. The latest violence is the most serious flare-up between Israel and Gaza since an 11-day conflict in May 2021.
In cricket, the 5th T20 international between India and West Indies is now underway at Lauderhill in Florida state of US. India were 114 for 2 in 11.4 overs when reports last came in. Ishan Kishan was out for 11. Earlier, India won the toss and opted to bat first. Now let us have a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. National capital Delhi and Chennai are expected to have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The minimum temperature in Delhi will be around 27 degrees Celsius, while the maximum may touch 34 degrees. Mumbai is likely to have generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. The minimum temperature will be 24 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 30 degrees. Kolkata is expected to have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature will be around 26 degrees Celsius and maximum will be around 33 degrees. Bengaluru will have generally cloudy sky with light rain.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. India win 4 gold medals at Commonwealth Games, move to 4th place in medals tally. Boxers Amit Panghal, Neetu Ghangas and Nikhat Zareen and athlete Eldos Paul bring glory, winning gold for the country. 2 silver and 3 bronze medals won in women's hockey, athletics and table tennis. At least 2 silver medals assured in badminton as PV Sindhu and Lakshya Sen enter the finals. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs Governing Council meeting of Niti Aayog. Crop diversification, achieving self-sufficiency in agri-commodities, implementation of national education policy and urban governance top agenda. Jagdeep Dhankar to take oath as 14th Vice President of India on Thursday. NIA arrests an accused for alleged involvement in activities of ISIS module. On the occasion of National Handloom Day, Prime Minister urges all youngsters from the startup world to take part in My Handloom, My Pride Challenge. And in T20 international cricket, the final match of the series between India and West Indies underway at Lauderhill in Florida. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.